Hey, welcome to the Client Lounge once again, and let's get started talking about albums. So when I first started my career in wedding photography, we would pride ourselves on delivering all digitals, and we delivered them through the disc. And then that became a thing of the past. They were getting lost, they were getting scratched, and they were just no good anymore. And my computer doesn't even have a disk drive, and I'm sure yours does not either. So that's when we turned to sending galleries online through the computer, which is always a great option, and we've stuck with that option because it is great. But now we are in a different place, a place of going back to the roots of what wedding photography was all about, which was handing down the memories from your cherished wedding to your kids, to your grandkids, to your great-grandkids. So when you're sitting around with your family on holidays, killing time, playing games, flipping through old photos, we want your album to be one of those memories. So we have invested a lot of time and energy finding the perfect company and the perfect style of albums for just you, our special clients, and we're really, really excited to show you all about them. So stick around. So a wedding album is probably one of the most important things that you're going to get from us, besides our creative eye and awesome personalities. Wedding albums are something that your parents probably had, your grandparents probably had, and your great-grandparents wish they had. Albums are a story, your story, and nothing in the world is more important than passing down your story. So let's get started in talking about the wedding albums that we offer. Okay, so our album company is new and we absolutely love them. They're all premium leathers and they have really nice thick pages, and every album comes with a case, instructions, a jacket, and of course we handcraft each album from the first page to the last page, and we work with you to make the perfect story. So let's take a look inside the first album. All right, but this is a 60-page album. A 60-page album is about this thick. Now, let me show you the 30-page just for comparison. You're probably noticing, oh, they're the same thickness. How cool is that? I'll tell you more about that in just a minute, but the 60-page and the 30-page are the exact same size. We do 12 by 12 albums. We don't do smaller for our brides and grooms. We just say go big or go home. So 12 by 12 is what you will get in your wedding collection if that is what you choose. All right, so let's get into it. The 60-page album, gorgeous. There's different kinds of front that you can add to the album. In this case, we used a photo front, and it is encased with this beautiful ivory leather. This is one of our most popular colors. And right upon opening is the picture. Boom, it's right there. And this is a 60-pager. So in a 60-pager, you're gonna get 100 plus images. That's a lot of images. And it's a lot better than 50, which is in the 30-page album. So in this 60-page album, you're gonna notice that you're going to see a lot of images. It's just a lot. We love that we can spread out the photos and make them nice and big. Some collages. You can really express your creativity and your layouts a lot more freely. It's a lot more photos, which you're going to hear me say a lot when looking at this album. And when you're telling your wedding story and you're actually picking the photos, a lot of our couples say, oh, it's just so hard to pick 50. And they end up upgrading to this album because they really want to tell the complete story with all the little details. For instance, I just love this detail of the little girl coming up. This is the flower girl, and she's tugging on the bride like, oh, I want to see your dress, where that might not end up in an album with only 50 images. So let me show you a little bit more storytelling. Most of these kind of images would be considered small moment, and they would never make it in. Little boy getting his boogies white, right? That would probably not make it in. A little girl looking out the window at people on the boardwalk. The same little girl takes her head flower piece and puts it around her ankles. I mean, that would never make it in. So this is telling the true detailed story of your wedding. That's the reason we shoot all the small details, because we hope that that will be a part of the really long continued story through your wedding album. So the 60-pager is just really incredible, and it's unmatched. It is the largest album that we offer, and it is available in our Black Label collection. So that is the 60-pager with the option of a photo front. Now, let's get to the 30-pager, which is still pretty awesome. Put this over here. Okay, so the 30-page album, again, same size, 12 by 12, same thickness. The only difference is in the page width. You will see that this one, the 30-page, is going to have a little bit thicker cardboard, okay? Doesn't make it any lesser than the 60-pager. They just don't want your 60-pager to be the size of a brick house. So the pages are a little bit more thick on the 30-page and just a little bit thinner on the 60-page. Okay, so this photo front has a raised initial. Now, the raised initial and the photo front are completely different options, so you get to choose which one that you want. Again, we went with the ivory just for consistency, but there are some other really beautiful luxury leathers that you can choose from. All right, so let's get inside the 30-page. Same as the other. Boom! Right into a photo. That's how we like to start. Now, we still get to story tell with 50 images. Sometimes we bump it up just a little to like 60 images. But it is still a really great story. You can see the bride's getting ready used to be 4 pages. Now it's 2 pages. And when you're looking at like the ceremony and the other album, the larger album, you're getting 4, 6 pages, where this one you're probably going to get just 2 pages. Still tells a really great story. It's still a wedding album, which is important, which everyone needs. And it's still that luxurious flat laying album. So I'm going to hold up the album so you can see. This is flat. That's called a lay flat album. That only happens in panoramic albums that we choose. Most people get a book, and you got to remember that a book has pages, and the pages usually fold and they bend, where these are cardboard, nice and thick, not going to bend. The album designing process is also really time-consuming and fun. We usually ask you to start picking your favorite images 2 to 3 months after the wedding, because nobody wants to get married and then come back from their beautiful vacation only to start picking photos. It's a process. So we would rather wait until you go on the honeymoon, get into your married life, and then come back, revisit, relive, and make your heirloom. Love this spread, by the way. I'm glad I'm on this spread. This spread is incredible. Look at that. This is something we try to do in every single person's wedding album. We always want to give you a full spread, which is 2 pages, for 1 photo. I remember the couple really loving this photo, so that's why I chose this one. Again, gorgeous albums. Just can't get enough of them. They smell delicious. That's the first thing I do when I get something new is I smell of it. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm not. Another reason why we picked this company and we love it so much for our couples is that it comes in a nice storage box. Not everyone wants to keep it in there all the time, but it is a nice way to know that it's not going to be damaged and it will last a lot longer for those great-great-grandchildren of yours. So let's open it up and check it out. Love that they do a letterpress instruction for you to keep. Comes with a black ribbon, just untie. Nice card for you to keep, because everybody always needs to remember how to keep their nice things. And boom, beautiful leather album, dust jacket, nice box, and watch this, a little pull tab, so nifty. Pulls your album right out, and voila. That's how they're stored. Now everyone might ask, what if we didn't get an album in our collection? How does that work? Well, guess what? We keep your photos for almost like forever. So if there's any time that you want to make an album for you and your family, or maybe a parent album, all you have to do is ask and we'll customize something just for you. And just remember, you're leaving a legacy. Do you want it to be a bunch of JPEG files in a folder? Or do you want it to be something that they can hold, touch, smell, and relive forever? Hope to make an album with you soon.